like to shine a light on female founders and women doing extraordinary things in business. And I have to say that my guest this week certainly fits that profile. Michelle Boundy is amazing. And I've only met you, a couple of weeks ago, Michelle. I have loved every second of you since I've met you.
Oh, thank you so
So
much.
thank you for agreeing to do this. So why don't you tell everybody a little bit about you and the name of your business, She Inspires Me, and what it is that you're doing with it.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much. Well, first of all, I would say what an honor and a privilege to be on your show, because you know that a couple of my inspiring women actually said, you've got to meet this woman. She's incredible. And so thank you so much. Such an honor. It's such a privilege to come on this incredible show that you've done. So hi, everyone. My name is Michelle Boundy. I've had 34 years in government, various roles in government, and very, very passionate about serving our community, and have done this over many, many years as a soldier with the Salvation Army, and then, of course, as the community kindness champion here in New South Wales for the Stay Kind Foundation. So
what foundation was it?
The Stay Kind Foundation.
Oh, the Stay Kind. What a great name. Love that.
Yeah. That's another incredible story for another day. But so about 12 months ago on International Women's Day, I came up with another community initiative called She Inspires Me. Right. So She Inspires Me is broken up into two parts. So She Inspires Me celebrates the contributions and achievements that women make in this country. I put a crazy post up on LinkedIn and said, ask my community about, who's inspiring in our community and our workplaces. I got something like, oh my goodness, I think 28 nominations in the first hour.
Wow.
So it just took off. And then I was traveling all over New South Wales, meeting inspiring stories and capturing their stories. Now, the hashtag Tell Your Story, again, just come through me. I don't know whether I was in the wrong spot or the wrong time. I always say the right spot and the right time.
Exactly.
about situations that women had gone through. And so it's all about overcoming diversity. So, it's all about women sharing their stories, sharing their journeys. And with their consent, I put them on social media and they went international. And I received hundreds and hundreds of messages from women all over the world. India, very, very popular in India.
They love Australian women there.
But just how they could, through their own situations, their stories really touched them. And look, some of the feedback was incredible. The stories are just incredible. So look, I share them on my, my website. I'm very, very passionate about women in male dominant areas.
Yes, I think that's where we really need to support those women and big them up, because a lot of them are very isolated as well.
Yeah,
and they're super brave, really, to break into some of the industries they're working in.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying there aren't great guys supporting them, but those women, absolutely. So
so there's a couple of sectors that I'm really, really passionate about. And then, of course, I've put this incredible structure around me with our ambassadors. So, we have phenomenal ambassadors with She Inspires Me. They're national, international leaders in their fields and doing incredible things. So as a network, we're all about education, empowerment, enhancing the lives of women in this country.
And how do you do that, though, Michelle? Can you be a bit more explicit about what how you actually activate those three particular areas?
Yeah. So what a great question. Yeah. So it's all about referral, and it's all about, I'll put a post up. I'm very, very active, got a good little following there on LinkedIn. And people actually recommend other women, because we are women that build each other up and not tear each other down, right?
Yeah.
And I love celebrating the contributions and achievements that women make in this country, but also, sharing their journeys and sharing their stories. So it's all about referral. So someone might, message me and go, look, Michelle, there's this incredible lady called Jules. You've got to meet this woman. So this is exactly what happened with us.
Okay, right.
So, somewhere along the line, you've really touched someone in a big way, because I actually got quite a few,
Oh,
nominations
thank you. That's
about
very kind of you.
you. And so
I'm
then
not fishing for compliments.
no, so then kind of what happens, and now this is gut wrenching, right? This
Yeah.
is where the story changes. So what I do is I get your contact details and I make contact with you. There's two kinds of women. There's the ones that like, oh my God, I'm inspiring. Oh my God, thank you. And they're literally crying because they've finally been recognized for the
Yeah.
incredible work that they're doing,
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
this could be the Telstra Woman of the Year. It could be someone that's won 4 gold medals. It could be the little woman in Newcastle that was just making sleeping bags for the homeless. It's
Yeah.
we want to celebrate women in this country, whether it's big or small,
Yeah.
And then so you've got that component.
Yeah.
I've had a number of initiatives. One initiative that has taken off like I can't
Yeah.
believe is Women at Work.
Yeah. Well, tell us a little bit about Women at Work. How does that?
Yeah.
What is that?
So just quickly, sorry. So to go back, so I've got this incredible website, She Inspires Me Australia's Find the Red Shoe. Get the website up. I feature women on my, including you, beautiful lady, on the front of my website. So we'll have a bit of a theme. And then we have the stories, but I do lots and lots of features. Women in business, women in law. I've got this ridiculous following. Women in law is really, really big.
And I'll interrupt you for that, because I've now interviewed about 250 plus women for my podcast. And the number of women that started out as lawyers, I would say exceed 60%.
Yeah.
It's extraordinary how many women have come from that law background.
Yeah.
And I imagine you're about to tell us why some of them have left. But
yeah.
So you've got women in law.
Yeah, and I've got an incredible ambassador, Lauren, who's just phenomenal, who's got connecting lawyer mums. So I end up just, and you've got to remember, I go into these situations cold. So, here's Jules. Well, who's that?
Yeah,
and then out comes this incredible story I love. But you know what? I've got to have their consent to do that, and I'll always get consent to do that. I always do that respectfully. My website, I've got a lot of cousins. My website is, a platform that is very, very positive. And, it's a platform where we celebrate, we acknowledge that women go through horrific things in this country. And this is something I get very fired up about and get very, very passionate about, but, we always do those things respectfully. So we don't, probably about 92% of the stories actually get sent to me through my website I actually can't use.
Right.
Because, there's a lot of women in this country that are really hurting right now. So everything that we do needs to be respectful. Probably the biggest part of She Inspires Me is referral. Right. And that's why I love women like you and other people that I connect, because I want to refer. We want to see women in this country supported. We want them to be seen and to be heard and supported. So Women at Work, I've struggled with She Inspires Me around, I've promoted hundreds of women and shared thousands of stories in less than 12 months. It's phenomenal. That the following and the support for She Inspires Me has been absolutely phenomenal. But, I've struggled with her not kind of having a voice. So I've got this big background in government, won multiple awards around work health, safety and wellbeing, started 2 reforms in government, so something I'm really passionate about. And I kind of felt a bit of a disconnect with She Inspires Me. We've got She Inspires Me, Tell Your Story, and it kind of goes off that way.
Yeah.
But I've always had a platform where I could talk about something, it was always about kindness. We stay kind. And so I just put this crazy post up and it got over 100 and something likes. It is still growing. Fantastic. And the feedback has been phenomenal. And we've got women from overseas going, oh my God, I love this. I want in.
Yeah, fantastic.
And that kind of left me to feel, I think I'm onto something here. Because we have women in construction, women in mining, and it's like, well, what if you're just a woman? What if you just work at Coles?
That's all right too.
What if you're just government? Where do I fit? I struggle with where do I fit?
Right.
So I've just come up with women at work, and
Right.
it's just
And it's all
got
women.
this ridiculous following.
Yeah, fantastic. That's really great. Okay, so can you be a bit more specific around, well, firstly, I'd like to know, was there one thing that happened? Because often when you decide to do something, it's because of something has happened and you've gone, oh my God, I need to do something about this. So what was there something that actually made you start She Inspires Me? Did something happen?
Yeah, yes.
Are you able to talk about it? Because I don't want to put you on the spot.
Yeah, look, I was searching for something. I'm going to
Right.
frame this in a nice and respectful way. I was searching for something, and
Yeah.
I went through a period of my time that was extremely difficult, and
Right.
it impacted every area of my life. And I've been, quite vocal about this. I want every woman in this country to be seen and to be heard.
Yep.
And
I'm with you.
I want a platform where women contributions and achievements in this country is celebrated.
Right.
And so, within that's probably a 3-week conversation. In
Yeah.
we know in Australia that, we have different sectors that kind of celebrate, incredible things. But
Yeah.
outside of that, nobody knows about it. So, I wanted a platform that represents everything. We're not just about domestic violence or homelessness or
I
supporting
love
women at
that.
work or safer communities for women and children, because this is something I'm very, very passionate about. I've got a very, very, very strong social justice principle.
Yeah, great.
Um,
Great. And it's on all women really to support other women who maybe don't have the privileges and the access to everything from education to a safe home that other people do. And I think
mhm.
it absolutely is on all of us to help the other women. I mean, you can't sit there and celebrate how successful or happy you are knowing that other people aren't in that situation. So the more we can do to help them, I think the better. So I love what you're doing.
Yeah, and again, women build each other up and not tear each other down.
Yeah.
So
Well, let's hope that. I don't hear that all the time, but I definitely think once you
yeah,
step out of big corporate businesses that often, I'm not, and I know this is a big broad comment to make, but I do
yeah,
find that women in small business, which is where I've been for the last 30 years,
yeah,
and entrepreneurial women are far more supportive of each other than the stories I'm hearing from a lot of other women where they say they get bullied and that the person that's really picking on them is a woman. So I really feel like we need to lead by example and change that.
So I copped that.
Right.
I copped that. And and this is why I wanted a platform. I actually am not afraid to stepping out and say, what, I need to step up to the plate and model the behaviours that I expect. We
Yeah,
say,
that's right. We've got to be role models, really, because if you can't,
mm,
that whole thing of if you can't see it, you can't be it is so true. And I mean,
mm,
take away a trite little saying and just think of anyone that you've seen do something on TV or do something in business. If
yeah,
it's someone that you kind of go, oh my God, well, if she could do it, I could do it.
yeah,
And if you don't see it, then it's almost impossible to imagine unless you are super brave
yeah.
to go into an area that you haven't seen someone do it before.
So I think, women at work is a safe seat for me, and it's something that
Yeah,
uh, I've won some of the highest work health and safety awards in this country.
fantastic.
It's something that I'm really, really passionate about, and we don't always get it right. And unfortunately, back in 2009, 2010, we had a woman at work that was murdered, and we had another one committed suicide.
Yeah,
And so when I look at over my life and I look at every kind of thing that I've achieved, unfortunately, there's a horrific story behind it. But unfortunately, sometimes, it's those things that kind of, I'm always going to
that
be a
propel you
woman
forward. That's
that's
right.
going
And
to,
you go, I'm not going to let that happen again. So in order to make that change
yeah,
happen,
that's
I've got to do
right.
it. I love it. I love that,
You
what you're
know,
doing.
so
So so talk
yeah,
to me with She Inspires Me.
yeah.
Who specifically are you targeting and why? So is it, you said every woman, But is it every woman of a certain age? Is it women who are working, who are employed and running their own businesses?
It's been everyone. It's been
Right, okay.
absolutely everyone. So, you know, She Inspires Me, firstly, is based on New South Wales Government's Women's Strategy for 23-26.
Right.
And there's three key components that it highlights. And it also highlights the communities that are either discrimination or at risk within a community. So called
Right.
women, Indigenous women, people with a disability. So, I mean, I'm very passionate about those sectors. But it's open to everyone. And that's what I love about She Inspires Me, because you don't have to be just a woman in construction. You don't have to be, you know, under 30 working in a law firm. It's the first of its kind that everyone is welcome here. But
Yeah,
I mean, of course, I'm very passionate about our Aboriginal community, and my son's Indigenous. I'm very, very passionate about women, you know, with a disability.
Yes, and
So
women of colour is another one where I just, you know, I just
Mm.
hear stories and I'm like, we've got to do something to change this. And refugee women and migrant women, it's you know, as a white Anglo-Saxon woman in my 50s, which is really, if you replace woman with man at the peak of our power, it's really disheartening to see the struggles that other women have to go through. And if we can ease that passage at all, I just feel like we have to. So what you're doing, I think, is great. I love it that it's so inclusive. In terms of products or services or how people can be involved, how does She Inspires Me work that way? Have you got a service that people can hook into? Have you got books? How does it work?
Yeah, so thank you. That's a great question. Thank you so much for the opportunity to talk about that. Yeah.
My
So look, I
pleasure.
have an incredible website, www.sheinspiresmeaustralia.com. I've got a contact page. I love getting nominations for, you know, to celebrate women or to share stories.
Right, okay.
But women at work, I think this is going to have a massive platform.
Okay, so if we go back to women at work then, how does somebody like me get involved with women at work?
Yes,
so I'm not working for an employer, and I don't have staff. So do I fit in? How does it work?
Look, it's open to everyone. So we've got a lot of people that have either left the workforce in terrible circumstances, or we've got young people that are thinking about getting into the workforce. So how it actually works, Comcare talks about the three parts of wellbeing. I'm very passionate about education, empowerment, and enhancing women's lives around their wellbeing. We've got their emotional wellbeing, their physical wellbeing, and their financial wellbeing, which again aligns with the New South Wales Women's Strategy, which is smart. And that's what 34 years in government tells you. You know, that's right. That's right. So, so basically, how it works is I've developed a wellbeing strategy and a wellbeing action plan for 2024. So you've got to remember that everything that She Inspires Me has been free. I haven't charged one red cent for anything that I do in promoting, heavily promoting women in this country. But I've had to, you know, charge a small fee, which is what, $12. It's like 2 cups of coffee. That's right. And so how it works is we've got, it's not a network, it's not a membership, it's a community that we're building here, which I love.
Right. Love that.
And so each month we'll have a theme. So March is about Mental Health Month.
Okay.
And so we're looking at, you know, our work health and safety regulators, we're looking at our unions, we're looking at what the government's doing, community initiatives. And so I'll start the month with a bit of a PowerPoint. You know, this is what we're going to talk about this month. There's a stack of online resources, but I'm bringing, and Jules, because you know you're one of them, I'm bringing in some of the country's leading subject matter experts, international keynote speakers. TED Talks have written books, they're university professionals. I'm talking about the country's best women to come on board to support this network. So, for example, we'll heavily promote what they do as well, but they will support the network. So, for example,
and when you say support, you talk about just kind of promote, or are we coming in and doing talks for the? I'm not quite clear on
so
how exactly it works. So you pay your $12, and what do you get for it?
Yeah, so basically we'll have a theme for every month, weekly messaging and resources, but
Oh,
also,
right.
yeah, and a lot of online different programs and different meetings.
Oh,
And,
fantastic.
and
Okay.
then what we do is we refer those women, because the subject matter experts, they will
Yeah.
have their own programs and services. So if you come on board with She Inspires Me Women at Work, you'll get discounts for those as well.
Right. Okay.
So,
Fantastic.
yeah.
Amazing. Okay. I don't know whether you're going to know this off the top of your head, but let's go with it. Have you got a great story that you can talk about either through Women at Work or She Inspires Me, where you've worked with someone and you've seen it make a profound difference? And no, you don't have to name names or
Oh my
anything.
God, yeah, a lot.
Can
Look,
you give me
especially,
one little story just before we close off the interview of, how it's worked?
yeah, I probably want to highlight my junior ambassador Keely from Keely's Cause.
Okay.
So she has done phenomenal things in this country and won some of the most prestigious awards. They've
What
been
space does
struggling.
she work? What space does she work in?
So Keely has autism.
Okay.
And has a disability. And this is something I'm very, very passionate about. And this is something that I wanted to be. I
Yeah.
really wanted that to for She Inspires Me. It's a sector I'm very, very passionate about. And historically, always had people with disabilities support my initiatives and be
Right.
involved in that. So Keely started that charity when she was 13. She's now 19. The charity's been going for 6 years.
Wow. Great.
So, I mean, I feel very passionate about working with younger women and seeing them thrive in this country, whether they've got a disability or not.
Oh, absolutely.
So Keely's a really good example of a number of women. I've never charged them anything, but when
So has she been sending you women in from Keely's Cause? Is that sort of how it's worked, and they've done the courses and the education with you, or?
no, it's about building Keely's profile.
Okay.
So
No.
Keely's Cause actually supports children with disabilities. They're not a
Fantastic.
provider of the NDIS. I just want to highlight that. That's really
Yeah.
important. They do a lot of community initiatives to raise fund to help others.
Beautiful.
And so this is something, even if it's about messaging on LinkedIn, about supporting their events. So this is something I'm very, very passionate about. The charity's been going for 6 years now, but
Isn't she amazing? 13 to 19. That she's 13, she started the whole thing. I think that's
and her story is gut wrenching. Her
right.
story is gut wrenching.
Okay. And we
So
can find her story on your website, can we? At
yeah, so she's one of
sheinspiresmeaustralia.com.
my ambassadors, my junior ambassador, Keely's Cause.
Okay, cool.
So she's doing phenomenal things in this country. And look, I'll do whatever it takes to be able to support her.
Yeah, fantastic.
But her list of accolades, she just won another major one for International Women's Day. She's phenomenal, this girl.
Oh, well, I
Lady,
love
I
it
should
that
say.
you're talking her up, and I love it that we get to hear about it. So let's encourage anyone who's watching this or listening
Yeah.
to go and check out Keely's Cause and see how you can amplify what she's doing. Okay, so Michelle, if people wanted to get hold of you, we've said sheinspiresmeaustralia.com. Is there anywhere else? And you're all over LinkedIn, you were saying. So
look, the other social medias I'm really not fussed on and don't particularly want
that's
to
fair enough.
Or
But
Michelle at sheinspiresmeaustralia.com. It's my email address.
Okay, great. Well, this will be live streamed. Well, nobody's supposed to know we're pre-recording, but if they're listening to the end, they'll know that this will be live streamed through LinkedIn on Monday. So
amazing.
we will be able to amplify a bit about what you're doing as well. Okay, well, I just want to say a huge thank you. I'm just going to say a couple of other words, but Michelle, I would encourage anybody who's listening to this to get in onto sheinspiresmeaustralia.com. Get in touch with Michelle. Refer other women to her if you think that their profile should be raised for what they're doing. And,
Absolutely.
you know, we've got to support someone who's absolutely doing what you can to make women more visible, which is something that's really close to my heart.
Yeah.
Because I think it's really
Yeah.
important that we start talking about amazing people, and you are definitely
Yeah.
one of them. So
Oh,
thank you
thank you
so
so
much for
much.
agreeing to do this. Okay, so if you have been watching this, please check out she'sthebossgroup.com. We've got a fabulous membership group there. We've got amazing women, normally women in their prime. So I say over 40, who've been running a business for a while, whether it's their own business or someone else's business, but we're kind of open to everyone. Connect with me on LinkedIn, and this will be going through my profile, or join the Facebook She's the Boss group. So we've got 3,500 plus women in there.
Wow,
They are
that's
all amazing. They
phenomenal.
are all really supportive. I just believe in lifting up other women. So I guess I'm not attracting anyone that isn't like that. I also have a course called How to Become a Woman of Influence, and I mentor women about how to step into the spotlight. And last but not least, as of Monday, hopefully it will be up, you can go to womenspeakers.com.au, where we
Wow,
will have a directory of women speakers. And that is because I recently found out
that's
that only
amazing.
30% of speakers are women. And I know I've been myself to enough
Yeah.
events that have, you know, panels of men and one woman or no women at all. And I just thought
Wow.
we need somewhere that we can all be found. So that's what that's about. And if it's not there by Monday, it won't be far away. So keep an eye on it.
That's amazing. Such an honor and a privilege. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you,
Right.
everyone.